Hello guys, in this video I will talk about 3 simple concepts that you can use in order to step up your game as support. Let's see. So what I'm doing here is, the moment I'm allowed to leave base, I go and put this word in this bush, and now I reset. I change my word to sweeper, so now I can have a word on the map and also a sweeper. This is useful because now I get the early bush control. So if the enemy goes there, I will see them and I can play accordingly. And if they don't show up, I can just go there myself and wait. Control over this bush is important because this way you can apply much more pressure in lane. If the enemy tries to put an early ward, you can most likely kill it because you will be standing right there. And if the enemy tries to put a ward later on, you have your sweeper that will be off cooldown. This concept can also be applied on any support type. It's usually better when you play engage or poke champion, just because being in this bush and getting control over this area means that you can either engage or poke from Fog of War, which is much more difficult for the opponent to react. The second concept I want to talk about is called parallel positioning. Parallel positioning means standing in a parallel line with your lane partner. What supports do very often in low elo is that they either stand too far back from their ADC, like their AFK, or they engage outside of the range of their ADC, like this Leona, for example, here. It's really important to engage only when your ADC can deal damage, otherwise, you almost always lose the fight. And if you stand too far back or too far forward, then you create these 1v2 situations where you obviously also lose. So, going back into the game, my goal here is to try and engage on Tristana, ideally, and then use auto attack on her and on Swain if he's close, so I can get the maximum value out of my passive. I hit Tristana here and also Swain, and now I make a mistake. As I said before, parallel positioning. So here, for some reason, I make a step forward and I get poked more than I should because Kai'Sa can't really deal damage here. So this is a mistake by me. And now I have my Q cooldown again in 1 second, as you can see. But I won't use it here because I know that Kai'Sa is far behind and she can't deal any damage. So I save my Q here and I keep playing lane. Now I will get level 2 and I was expecting Kai'Sa to be more forward, but she's actually standing behind to get the last hits. So this Q is also a mistake by me, I think. And now there's not really much that we can do, I guess. We just have to wait for the next wave and we can crash it so we can play the bounce. And once the wave bounces, we can either threaten a freeze and try to go on them if they try to break, or we just deny CS from them. Notice how I keep putting myself in the bush, and now this guy face checks. So I punish, and he actually dies, which is huge for us. I push the wave, and I instantly click reset. After this, I want to talk about the third concept. As a support, it is really important having the ability to understand where you can be more useful on the map, and it's not always being bottling. So what I will be doing right here is roaming, and I will be explaining my decision making behind every action I make. But before I start the video, I want to talk about why I don't necessarily have to be bot lane right now. When we kill them before, we crash the wave. So this means that the wave will be pushing towards us. So the enemy can either decide to hard push or slow push, but eventually the wave will crash. So this means that my ADC can farm by itself, and that I'm not required to be there necessarily for the next 40 seconds. So right here, I'm heading towards mid, which is what you should almost always do as support once you leave base, after you took a reset or died. And the first thing I do after is looking at the wave state, mid and top. Understanding how specific matchup works and looking at wave state is what will most likely determine your direction when you roam. So right here I see Fiora being very low and trying to catch this wave. Fiora versus Olaf is a very volatile matchup where if one gets the lead, he can very easily snowball the entire lane after this. So my goal here roaming is trying to deny Fiora to crash this wave. If I manage to make it, or if we even kill her, it will be huge for us. Sadly here, my jungler dies, so I can't really make a play anymore, but I managed to deny some vision, and I deny Grop as well from the enemy jungler. So now I'm heading towards mid lane and try to see if I can help Kata. Sadly here he dies, and I can't really help him, So now my goal is to try to make this freeze. Since the next wave that is coming is very close, so I don't have to tank a lot in order for me to make this freeze, and my jungle is also coming mid. Trinamer tries to deny me the freeze, so he ends up overextending, and eventually he dies, which is huge for us because we also managed to maintain the freeze. So now I'm heading towards bot lane because I know Taliyah is bot, and I don't really want to let my ADC be alone in a 1v3 situation. So I just play lane now. So this is how I actually managed to be useful in all 3 lanes in just 5 minutes into the game by using simple concepts and decision making that you can also apply into your own games. Anyway, guys, this was the video. Thanks for watching.